Cashual Chuck always does a great job creating that story from start to finish. So, is Ken's your favorite, right?
I think he is, yeah.
I think he is.
I think so. I don't know anymore. I love them all.
That's true. Hey everybody, welcome to another Hollywood Producers React. I'm Scott.
I'm Sam.
And today we're going to be looking at another Cashual Chuck special.
We love Cashual Chuck.
We do. And it's been a while since we've done one of his videos, and you know, holidays, you understand.
Yeah.
So this one is What Nobody Understands About Ken from SB19. We love Ken.
Yeah.
And I actually really like Ken because he's got that unique voice. And so I've always been curious about like what his background is, so I'm excited to learn. And Cashual Chuck always does a great job creating that story from start to finish. So we're gonna do that today. Is Ken's your favorite, right?
I think he is, yeah.
I think he is.
I think so. I don't know anymore. I love them all.
That's true. So before we start, let's make sure we subscribe, like, comment, and share. Mainly subscribe, and I think that's it, right?
Yes.
All right, let's just hit play. What am I doing?
Yeah.
Now, see, I could not pull that off.
Sino ang pinaka-spoiled sa grupo?
The most spoiled?
Sino ang makakalimutan? Hindi mong patapos na, nagkamali pa siya. Bakit naman Ken? Bakit si Ken? Bakit si Ken?
Please stop it.
Ken is, in my opinion, the most successful idol in P-pop history. Most fans see him as someone who's living the life most of us can only dream of. But in reality, there's a lot more going on behind all the glitz and glamour. So in today's video, we will reveal the challenges he had to go through just to get where he is today. From being a scrawny kid who only ate instant noodles on his birthdays to becoming the CEO of his own company. I know, Ken's story is like a definition of rags to riches. And the haters are not having it. He quickly became one of the most polarizing figures in the P-pop industry. But before we talk about all that, let's talk about his humble beginnings because it's straight up inspiring.
Always gonna be haters when you have success. Always.
It all started in Pagadian, Zamboanga del Sur. This is the countryside where Felipe John Suson was raised. His mom wanted to name him Kenji, but his grandpa Felipe insisted to name him Philip. He was the youngest member of a family that barely had anything financially. They were very poor that instead of a cake on his birthday, all he gets is a plate of instant noodles. Life was so hard that having fried chicken was heaven for him, so it quickly became his all-time favorite. Because of this, both of his parents had to go overseas to find better paying jobs to support the education of Ken and his older sister. He had to be taken under the care of his grandparents. He then grew up in a church and his grandpa was the pastor. He was just a scrawny kid who likes mathematics and discovered drawing as his first talent. So he went on to become an editorial cartoonist in school. Family gatherings in the Philippines always require a karaoke machine. And Ken's extended family wasn't a stranger to that. He used to hide during these occasions because he was always asked to sing. I was told by some sources that Ken had a very good singing voice as a kid but lost his confidence when puberty hit because it gave him an ultra deep voice which turned out to become one of his greatest assets in the future because of the dude named Pablo.
I never thought na may mga tao talaga makapag-appreciate ng voice ko. Kasi hindi ako ganoon ka confident sa voice ko kasi yung range ko mababa lang, tapos malalim yung boses ko. Ngayon, parang naging na-appreciate ko na yung boses ko dahil may mga tao na ka-appreciate na. Nice.
Anyway, his newfound love for music got him to learn his first musical instrument without anyone teaching him. so he ended up becoming a southpaw guitarist but later fixed it as he learned more. He was also active in sports, representing his school in regional tournaments. He played some table tennis and sepak takraw as a spiker. For those who don't know, this position requires exceptional skills to perform explosive jumps to block and spike the ball. The teacher saw this as a potential that can translate into good dancing, so he was offered to join the dance club for better grades. He was hesitant at first, but when he tried, you all know what happened next. Watching his early clips feels like he was born to dance. He was even hired by his school to choreograph some dance routines. He then moved to Cagayan de Oro to study architecture in college. He became a member of the dance crews called Excite, GA7, and Amigo 7. His last two crews were so good, in fact, Ken had a crewmate named Joshua who went on to become a member of a successful international idol group in the future called Z-Boys. They were beating everybody in the countryside, so there was no point in competing there anymore. It was time for the big leagues. They got invited to join major K-pop dance competitions, and this was the first time when Ken met other SB19 would-be members. Not as brothers, but as enemies. In one particular contest, Josh and Stel's crew defeated Ken's because they already had a GOAT status in the industry at the time. Ken accepted defeat gracefully and even asked to be trained by Josh, which actually surprised him because he thought Ken was a show-off.
Kinausap niya po ako eh. Sabi niya sa akin, Idol Josh, gano'n po tawag niya sa akin yun, Idol Josh. Pasali naman ako sa ano nyo, patraining naman ako sa grupo nyo. Kahit sa gilid lang ako.
But because of their distance, the training together never happened. Ken then went home to continue his studies. Fast forward to 2017, he received a message from Josh. It was an invite to audition for the 5th member spot of SB19. But there's one problem. Ken had no money, so Josh was like, no problem, I'll take care of it. Ken then told his grandma about stopping school to pursue it, and she was very hesitant because she thought it was a scam and his parents overseas would have automatically said no. But Ken was so close to his grandma that he managed to convince her to go in secret. So our country boy took off to pursue his dreams. He had nothing with him except his phone, his clothes, and a 1,500 peso pocket money. This time when he arrived at the airport, there was no crew. It was all him. So imagine how that must have felt. Anyway, he took a taxi to SBT Talent Camp and of course, the drivers camped him. He had to pay 600 pesos for a supposedly 150 peso trip. What a ripoff. Anyway, he finally met Josh and the boys and started training with them for a year while crashing into a distant relative's house to rest up. He slept on the floor, not with a comforter, but a banig. Because if he didn't, he would be homeless. Ken had no salary when he was still training, so he moonlighted as a small-time model to survive, which is an experience that would play a big role in his future. The dude was literally fighting for his dreams every single day. So here comes 2018 when they finally debuted, and though it was a rocky start, they gradually progressed to become the greatest P-pop group God has ever created. If you want to know more about their story as a group, check out the SB19 story series I made, linked down in the description. You can also join the highest tier of our channel's membership if you're interested to be credited as one of the executive producers. So how did Ken become the most polarizing P-pop idol? Like, how is he either obsessively loved by fans or obsessively hated by bashers? Well, he has this persona of a badass dude who doesn't give a shit. And if you combine that with one of the many accusations thrown at him, then they got themselves a new P-pop villain in the making. But there's one thing in common between all those issues. They lack evidence. There are a few exceptions though, but you can't say a person is arrogant just because he looks cool and badass. The dude is even a softie. He tends to cry in interviews and emotional moments. His awkwardness as a kid is still there, and this TikTok clip says it all.
Me and you and you and me, just us and your friend Steve. Do 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 Steve. 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 Do 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 Steve. Do 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 Steve.
Also, you can't just call a person lazy just because you've seen a few clips of him sleeping. I mean, isn't it a result of him working too hard? Being an idol and running your own clothing company at the same time is no joke. The dude only used to draw this aspiration, but now he made it happen. He managed to build a company that sold out merch in just minutes. It's insane. It's even rumored that his company is now worth more than $1 million. Whether it's true or not, it put an even bigger target on his back. And haters started coming up with even more ridiculous claims, like accusing him of copying 2 K-pop music videos just because they have a similar vibe. This was easily debunked though. If you want to check it out, I made a video about it, link down in the description. His main dancer position got also heavily criticized because of one single clip of him messing up on live TV. It was unfair in my opinion because Ken has always been consistent in his dance performances, yet the haters suddenly forgot about how good he really is. Ken never fired back. Or did he?
Hades on the way. Nagtatago kapag sa likod ng dami ang kampapre. Huwag mo mahiya, labas ka na sa lunggot. Patingin naman ang sample kung paano maghihilo pababa.
So why does the poultry still exist and are still growing in numbers after all the bashing? Well, it's because he doesn't only have the alluring personality, but he also has the capability to back it up. Scratch that. Capabilities. What's crazy about Ken is that he has already shown us enough talent like his exceptional dancing and singing that is enough to fulfill a main vocal role.
Saan darating ang mga salita na nanggagaling sa aming dalawa? Kung lumisan ka, wag naman sana ika'y bumapit na, hindi makawala. Aking sinta, ikaw lang dahanan ay mundo.
Yet he still has a lot of secrets. I'm telling you man, this guy is a living anime character. Have you heard of an idol who is also a CEO? A dancer who is known for his aerial flips but never tells us that he can also breakdance. A singer who writes and co-produces his own songs. A musician that plays guitar, keyboard, drums, and can even beatbox. A fashion influencer. A man who plays sports like basketball, billiards, volleyball, badminton, table tennis, boxing, and sepak takraw with decent proficiency. A skater boy, an artist, a philanthropist, and most especially, a man of faith. I initially thought that the Superior Sound brand was all about him, but I was quickly proven wrong when I found this Bible verse underneath his Bulan CD, Hebrews 1:5-14. The entire passage is lengthy, but it all boils down to Christ being the superior of all beings. I mean, all of us have different religions, some don't even have one, but I just respect people like him who stand firm behind their beliefs. As of today, Ken has established himself as an arguably the most successful P-pop idol and the richest among his co-members. And it's just the beginning. They're still on their way to introducing Filipino music to the world through the US as of the making of this video. And his group SB19 is the first one to ever do it. So what have we learned about Ken's story? For me, it was his persistence and willingness to take risks. Have you ever noticed that sometimes it's your loved ones that said no to your aspirations? Because, they care about you. They don't want you to fail and all that. Do you know how many people have had visions, ideas, and huge career moves that they were about to do, but they allowed the word no to stop them?
So many.
For all I know, you might be one of those people. The difference with Ken is that he never gave the power to the word no. It was his own grandma who tried to stop him, but he continued. Yes, haters exist, but he didn't reject his own ideas just because they rejected his ideas. Haters hate because they feel small when your ideas start turning into reality. He once said in an interview that success is the best revenge, so he stopped killing them with kindness. To this day, Ken has been torturing them with success.
Good job, Chuck. And of course, everybody who chipped in. So what do you think? Or unless you want me to start.
No, go ahead.
I think the underlying meaning, because we kind of already knew his story from the stuff we had seen previously. So
That is correct,
We
sir.
knew how hard it was for him to get from where he grew up to where he is now. I didn't know about the clothing stuff though.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
From what I saw, it looks like really nice stuff.
Yeah, it looks like it's really high-end kind of stuff there.
Yeah.
But I think the underlying meaning for him anyway, and why he's so successful, like so many people who are successful, is who cares if people tell you can't do something? Do it. If you want to do it, do it.
That's right.
Do it. And I think that's exactly what he did. He just didn't take no for an answer, like Cashual Chuck said, and that'll lead you to places that you never knew existed. And you know, it's probably the same story for you. It's the same story for me. You got into music, and your parents probably told you, "What the heck are you doing?"
Well, my father sure did.
Yeah. So I mean, so you've had people who said no, and you said, "Forget it. I'm going to do it. I love it. That's what I want to do." It's the reason I'm out here in California in the first place.
That's right.
I had so
be
many
with me.
people. That's right. I had so many people tell me no. So
Yeah,
that's the story.
I just think that Ken deserves a lot of kudos for going through all that crap.
And also, I think the haters are going to come out. When you're successful on top of that, people are going to come out and hate on you. That's just the way the world, unfortunately, the way the world works.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me that I'm sure all the guys have their haters.
Of course, yeah.
And so, I mean, to me, that seems pretty obvious. Every successful person has haters out there.
And the more successful you get, especially in entertainment, the more haters you get.
That's right. That's why nobody cares about Sam and I.
That's right.
They don't care. When do we become successful enough that we've got so many haters that Cashual Chuck comes and does a story about us?
That would be great. Anyway, I want to thank Cashual Chuck for allowing us to use his material. And
Yeah.
We're so thankful.
Yeah, he does all the hard work for us. Really.
Yeah.
No, it was very well done, and I have to give Chuck his due. He really does a great job with all these things that he's done, and yeah, I mean, thank you.
If you enjoyed this, go over to Chuck's channel and show him some love.
Show him some love, and let him know that we sent you there.
That's right.
Let him know we sent you.
Scott and Sam sent me.
That's right.
So the main thing that I found surprising was the clothing business.
Yeah.
I'd like to know more, and I think we would like to get some more information. So why don't whoever it is you are out there, and you know who you are, inform us about this company, and we want to check it out.
And he sells out all the time, so it must be really good.
Yeah.
And I hope it's still around.
Of course.
Because this was like 3 years ago.
I'm sure he's good.
I'm sure it's doing awesome. All right, before you go, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share. And remember, we love you guys. Keep it fun, keep it safe. Let's keep hearing about your boys, SB19. The more we hear about them, the more we get to do in the future.
Yes,
and,
right. We're
and it
18.
It keeps Sam happy.
Yeah.
All right, see ya.
Goodbye.